In September 2007, Apple released the original iPod Touch to be a cheaper alternative to competing first generation iPhones, starting at $300 instead of $600 for the original iPhone. However, the sacrifices in it were major. It had no built in speaker, no volume rockers, didn't permit users to use headphone speaker controls, had limited software, having no app store, no built in games, and no notes feature. Even the iPod Nano 3rd generation from that same year had built-in games, notes feature, and volume rockers. The first iPod Touch was also marketed as a high-end music player, which didn't appeal to people because they'd rather have an iPhone which had built-in notes and would later have games. The release of the then called iPhone OS 2 did have the App Store, and in a later revision of iOS 1 did bring the Notes app to the iPod Touch. However, it still had a $300 starting price, while a competing iPhone 3G then had a $200 on-contract starting price, which had a camera, built-in speakers, and volume buttons. Apple needed to do something to make the iPod Touch more appealing to people, and so they did, which is otherwise known as the second generation iPod Touch. The second generation iPod Touch, released in September 2008, introduced a built-in speaker that exported sound from the old-school charging port on the bottom, volume rockers, an accelerometer which tilts the screen depending on which way you're holding your device, an even thinner design, a slightly better Samsung chip aka the A2X, a Nike pedometer which can track workouts, and a lower price tag of $230 for 8 gigabytes of storage. The iPod Touch second generation also comes at a lower price, comes in 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabyte storage options. It also kept its chrome design from its predecessor that doesn't scratch. This iPod Touch also marketed itself as an entertainment and gaming device, which meant that combined with its lower price point, it made it under far more Christmas trees that year. Even though it was more expensive than the competing iPhone 3G, it had a slightly better processor and was cheaper without a contract. It also made more sense for kids who either weren't allowed to have a phone and their parents didn't want to pay far more to get an iPhone off contract, or for kids in the US who didn't have AT&T, as iPhones in the US were still only available on AT&T at that time. In September 2009, the iPod Touch 3rd generation released, and the iPod Touch 2nd generation's MC revision was also released. These had patched exploit flaws to make jailbreaking and downgrading one less doable, and had the storage capacity printed in smaller text. It was also only sold in 8 gigabytes. It still sold well during this time and made it far more nostalgic to people than the 3rd generation iPod Touch because it was cheaper than the 3rd generation. In June 2010, when iOS 4 released, while the iPod Touch 2nd generation didn't run as badly as on the iPod Touch 3 iPhone 3G due to its slightly better chip, it still didn't perform well and didn't get all the iOS 4 features, such as the home screen wallpaper and multitasking. In September 2010, the iPod Touch 2nd generation was discontinued and replaced with the best-selling iPod Touch hit in history, the iPod Touch 4th generation. In early 2011, with the iOS 4.3 update, support for the iPod Touch 2nd generation was dropped and it became the obsolete relic it is today. Thanks for watching. I am the iTunes Fanboy. Please do me a favor and interact with this stuff below. And did anybody have one of these back when they were new? Please comment down below. And peace out.